Alright, take 27 on this intro video. Hi, everyone. It's Dronis. Scratch that. It's just Paul today. I'm not going to use my YouTube alias because this is important. This is me working through my issues, specifically when it comes to death. I don't take it the way everyone else does. I have to create something. I have to make something in remembrance of the person before I can fully process my grief. And depression still hits hard, even when you try to ignore it and try to shut it out. And my anxiety was doing a good job of keeping it away. But enough about me. The pieces of this video were recorded on December 21st and 22nd, 2018, this video is made in loving memory of the person whose funeral it is of, my grandfather, Lawrence Dean Elmore. He was born September 22nd, 1939. He entered into rest December 17th, 2018. The funeral services were on December 21st with a visitation the night before at the Crane Funeral Home in Jasper County, Illinois, Newton, Illinois. The officiants were Philip Young, the first pastor I remember, and Brother Bill Wilkinson, who was the pastor at that church before Philip Young was. He was interred at the Chapel Cemetery, where my grandmother was buried. The pallbearers were Kenny Elmore, Brian Tarr, Roger Tarr, Bobby Ebling, Matt Tarr, Jeff Tarr, and Kevin Wiggle. Lawrence Dean Elmore was born on September 22nd, 1939 in Flint, Michigan, the son of Alton D. and Agnes Burdine Elmore. Larry married Carol Jean Tarr, that's my grandma, on November 27, 1960. She preceded him in death on September 17, 2007. In addition to farming and raising livestock, Larry worked for Roadmaster in Illinois for 44 years. He was a member of Fairview Christian Church in Newton. In his free time, Larry loved spending time with his grandsons. He enjoyed taking them fishing, hunting, and riding the four-wheelers and golf carts. He was a gifted mechanic and would tinker to get almost anything that was broken down running. Larry loved his family, his children, and his grandchildren. He and Carol opened their homes and hearts to many children throughout their lives. Larry passed away Monday, December 17th, 2018 at the Newton Care Center in Newton, Illinois. Larry will be loved and remembered by his children, Sheila Boyd and her husband Randy of Windsor, Illinois, Eric Elmore and his wife Amanda of Newton, and Shauna Adkins, her husband Dan, of Newton. Grandsons Justin Elmore and wife Lindsay, Jordan Elmore and wife Megan, Braden Elmore, Cole Elmore, Paul Adkins, and Bryce Adkins. Great-grandchildren Lauren, Kinley, and Camden Elmore. His siblings Meadowloo Carnes of Effingham, Dolores Staley of Newton, Kit Carson Elmore of Lawrenceville, and Lee Larson Elmore. His parents, his wife Carol, his brothers Abraham and Byron Elmore preceded him in death. And before I continue, John 14th, 1 through 4 from the King James Version of the Bible. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also, and whither I go ye know, and the way ye know. And I'll go ahead and show you really quickly. Picture. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and edit all these pieces together, and there will be a slideshow at the end. Mom, Dad, when you're watching this, this is going to contain a lot of my inner monologue, and there will be parts of it that are about me, because this is a vlog, and I do apologize. I was going to do 2 separate videos, but it took me so long to get these pieces back up that it's going to take me forever to edit all of these tiny pieces even further than I already had to make sure it all works. And then there's the slideshow. But there is a part that is recorded in the bedroom downstairs. After that, I felt compelled to record one of Grandpa's favorite hymns to go alongside the slideshow, since I was going to go ahead and read this, the obituary, in the intro. So, for those of you who are outside my family, who are just a part of my subscriber base, welcome to a piece of my life that I may or may not have let people in on before. So, see you in a bit. Hey, so, apologies for not doing vlogs this last week. I was sick for about 4 days and then find out my grandpa died. So, welcome to my hometown. Literally only 2 stoplights at 1 intersection, but hey, it's home. For those of you who know me, yeah, this place is a little bit meh, but I don't know, being here even for this, it gives me a nostalgic feeling, and I'm kind of glad that I get my chance to say goodbye to Grandpa. I'm kind of glad it all wound up working out with the day I was actually planning on being down here. So I will continue filming in a bit. Bye.
It's always good to have another muscle around.
All right.
Year round. So you guys got a contact with them.
Right. Okay, so I think I've got a general. To my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the cross, the old rugged cross, and exchange it someday for a crown. Oh, that old rugged cross, so despised by the world, has a wondrous attraction for me. For the deep.
Oh, all over there at the dinner we'll all get together.
Okay, it's not for a photograph. I'm actually taking a video of this part of it.
I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing both photo and video.
I see.
I'm gonna be compiling it all together in one video that I'm gonna upload when I get home, and then
Good.
I'm gonna
Wonderful.
mark it and send it to Mom so she can send it to everyone else.
Oh, how nice.
I'm also gonna read the obituary as a part of it, alongside the still photographs.
That'd be nice. Obituary, you know.
You'll find them one day down by the house. Yeah, it was after the casket.
That was probably before they started to have.
Because he can't find his slippers. It was always cold that way too. I did it last night.
That's what they hired me for, but I end up getting a lot more than they get a lot more than Anthony.
I know. Come on. You know I'm trying.
I had a fair hand, but it just depended on who had what. Cole didn't have to throw that king to start with. He didn't throw farm. I think that shows that farm.
Hey y'all. So, yeah. Funeral went off without a hitch. As you can see, I'm in a completely different room. This is the bedroom I spent most of my high school years in. I painted it all myself, as you can tell. It's about as disorganized as my brain, but looks relatively good. It's a mixture of cream and green. The bookshelf full of books that I never took with me. The other bookshelf full of books I never took with me. Xbox games, clothes, and dresser I never took with me. And of course, closet. More like a metallic wardrobe. Stereo system, never took with me. Most because it's broken. Like, really broken. Like the other stereo system behind me. I never got around to fixing them. Yeah, I mentioned I'm lazy. All the dishes that I had at my last apartment I lived at alone. Tool chest that is practically empty. Because I was never a tools guy. No matter how much mom and dad may have wanted me. We've got a little space heater in here that isn't plugged in. Because there isn't a wall outlet close enough. But yeah. So, part of the reason I didn't take most of these books with me, they are a reminder of my past. With the exception of the music textbooks, which I'm going to try to sneak out at some point. Probably not this trip. Pretty much all of these books in here remind me of being homeschooled and my time as a neoconservative borderline on Nazi. None of them inherently would instill those values in me, mind you, but they leaned so far to the right that I was already sort of primed for it. Oh, and, my cane. Used to walk with a cane. It's complicated. So, yeah. How do I put this? All the books on people like me on that shelf all say that I'm unnatural. All the books on religion up there say it's natural to feel attraction to girls. It's natural to feel attraction to both. It's just a combination of nature and nurture that winds up causing people to favor one over the other or completely only go for one, in my case. But yeah, a good chunk of those books are religious texts, and not like ancient religious texts, like religious texts that are commentaries on the Bible that don't bother delving into the root messages. That there is one interlinear Bible that is Hebrew, Greek, and English, which I will take with me because I need to brush up on my Greek. I'm trying to think what others. I would sneak the Twilight books out because I didn't want Mom and Dad knowing I had them, but I've had them for a while. Great book series. I'm definitely gonna leave the Frank Peretti stuff here. If I can find anything I had by Ted Dekker, I'm gonna take it with me. Not gonna read it, but of all the Christian fiction and fantasy authors I've read, he was probably the best at making the metaphors mean something, other than C.S. Lewis, who I see they didn't get rid of my Chronicles of Narnia collection. But I'm going to leave that here as well. My philosophy of law and world philosophy textbooks. The one book that I can honestly say probably was neo-Nazi propaganda back in the 50s, or rather Nazi propaganda back in the 50s, an old copy of a book about slave hunters, and painting them in a positive light. Yeah, I was a messed up kid. I'm so glad I'm not like who I was. Just for my own safety and also for the benefit of the wider world. But yeah, most of the fiction books are up there are Christian fiction as well. I would take a copy of Catch Me If You Can, but no. My constitutional law textbook, which I got from my time, I really hate saying this, my time taking classes through Liberty University. Still sitting right there. My small claims textbook. You and the Law Reader's Digest edition. Yeah. The constitutional law course, by the way, from Liberty, is all about how to defend the church from people like me. And from people who are seeking abortions, and from people who are suing because crisis life pregnancy centers pretend to be abortion clinics and fail miserably at it to the point where it causes them to get caught. Then we have the random scattered Tor fantasy novel that I hid. There are like 5 in there, I think. Star Wars Episode 1 fan art book is up there somewhere. And an X-Men novel. Anne, singular. All of my old sheet music from when I was taking piano lessons. And I mean all of my sheet music from then. I see they kept the old copy of What They Didn't Know Was Fat Material. I'm gonna censor that line out. Men's Fitness, etc. They also kept my copy of the Devil's Dictionary, which they didn't realize. It isn't really a satanic text, and they didn't even realize I had it, of course. basically hid the writings of Plato and Socrates in between an old book of messed up definitions for common words. Yeah. They never thought to look for the stuff that would make me think. But yeah, most of these books I would have to leave here. Harmful, painful, homophobic, racist. Most of these books are aimed towards a conservative young adult. I mean, I could take my J.R.R. Tolkien series, but then it would be painfully obvious that I'm specifically targeting books that have political motivations laced into their religion. But yeah, I'm trying to think. What other books? Oh, there's that one set of books that my parents bought me when they thought that I had turned straight. Yep. Not sex ed. Nope, it's the church. It's how to stay abstinent until marriage. And not a lick about sex. Yeah. Okay. That kind of hurts. They still kept those. They didn't realize I have three for. They didn't realize I have 3 Forgotten Realms novels hidden on my dresser. That's fun. There were a lot of books in this collection that were problematic, and a lot that weren't. It's just, I never took the time to tell the difference between the two. For example, the book on the history of modern Israel. Severely biased in favor of the Israeli government and against the Jewish people as a whole, which I didn't realize was a contradiction. Because I still, at the time, viewed Israel as a Christian nation, because it was founded by America, by treaty. Nope. But the issue of Israel is more nuanced than what anyone gives it credit for. And here's the thing. Israel needs to be completely abolished. But the Jews still need to be free. They need to be free to go wherever they want. They have suffered enough at the hands of history. They are literally the first victims of every form of racial injustice in history recorded. Minus the genocide committed by the Chaldeans way back in the 30th century BC. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, and looking back through it, almost all of my law books, with the exception of my small claims law and You and the Law Reader's Digest edition, are biased religiously. And yeah, I think that sums it all up. So, anyway, my parents are driving me home tomorrow. When I get home, I'm gonna slowly start editing these together. And I'm gonna make a separate video specifically for my family, consisting of
memories,
just a funeral,
unseen angels,
obituary, provided I don't
sent
lose
from somewhere to my soul.
my copy. Yeah. Night, guys. Hey, so I'm
how
home.
they
It's
linger.
been a fun 3 days, but I gotta start getting ready for work tomorrow
Ever near
morning.
me.
So I'm gonna unpack my Christmas presents.
As
I'll probably show them
the
later.
Sacred past unfolds.
Yeah. I miss Grandpa. I do.
Precious memories.
I'm going to be doing a tribute video to him in a few weeks. I remember
How they ever
compiling
flood
bits and
my
pieces from the funeral, kind of like this vlog was, covering all of this. I am going to do a live stream here in a few seconds and catch people up and let them know what's coming out.
Precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious Father, loving Mother, fly across the lonely years, and old home scenes of my childhood in fond memory appears. Oh, precious memories, how they linger, how they ever flood my soul. Now in the stillness of the midnights, precious sacred scenes unfold. Now I remember Mother praying, Father too on bended knee. Oh, the sun is sinking and the shadows are falling, but their prayers still follow me. Precious memories, how they linger, oh, how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, those precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious memories, scenes unfold.